throughout my life I developed to rest in that pure unclutching space and my integrity to my Guru. So even though one by one my senses have failed, my intellect is failing, my ability to remember is failing, my visualization is failing, my emotions are failing, all that is failing. But because my whole life I developed the strength of resting in my pure completion and unclutched space, so I just know I am relaxing in right space. There is no depression, there is only joy. This is what you can learn from my life as a lesson. I had one experience flashing in me which happened in my life in 1995. I'll narrate the whole thing, listen carefully. After I had the darshan of Shankar Baba in Haridwar, who came and gave me food, medicine and cured me, I was completely hale and healthy, blissful, running all over the Haridwar, enjoying. Suddenly one day evening I heard the news that one Swami Vairagyananda, Ramakrishna's Dharmapatni, Ardhangini, Sharada Devi's disciple. Sharada Devi should be called as Dharma Samvartini, not Dharmapatni. Dharmapatni is a too small word. Dharma Samvartini. She rolled the Dharma Chakra of Ramakrishna. Her disciple, her own initiated disciple, Swami Vairagyananda, I have heard about him. I have even had his darshan earlier. I heard that he is in hospital, really ill and need to be attended. So I ran to the hospital. I had the opportunity of serving him. The best punya this body has ever earned is serving the elderly sadhus, especially when they are sick. Cleaning up their 1, 2 without feeling hesitation or any of the so-called emotions, treating them properly. By the time I went and started attending to him, he was not able to go to restroom. He used to have everything in the bed itself, and I used to clean, take care, and he has developed little bed sores, and I used to attend to that. That is my passionate, what to say that. The best thing I enjoyed in my life is taking care of elderly sadhus. I will always be there when there is elderly sadhus who are not well, who need to be attended. My Guru, when she gave me the danda for yatra, Parivrajak yatra, she told me only these 2 words. You will never be in want of anything you need for survival, existence. Your life will never be under threat. You will be protected. And then when I was taking her blessings and about to leave, she said, always serve elderly sadhus. That will be a great punya. I said yes. But of course, I did not leave immediately. After she left the body only, I left Tiruvannamalai. But I always kept that word of serving the elderly sadhus. I was attending to him. I had the fortune of attending to him for few days continuously. He was so happy the way I took care of him. And he's a Mahatma. Mahatma means I can see clearly the internal organs are failing, but the beaming joy in his face. Even at that time, he will not lie down flat. He will say, hey, only bogies lie down flat, never yogis. His internal organs are failing. He may be alive maximum next 24 hours or 48 hours, not more than 2-digit hours. The voice, hey, Koka. Koka is the Bengali word to address a kid or a child. He used to call me as Koka Maharaj. Koka. In Tamil it's a bad word, so don't use. Koka Maharaj, make me sit. I have to drag him a little up so that he's at least in the slanting position. I'll tell Maharaj, why do you want to sit? Just lie down and relax. Nay, only bogies lie down and lie down. Yogi can never lie down. He used to tell, the royal brand horses can never sit or lie down and sleep. The kings had the habit. If a royal horse lies down or sits even once, it's killed. Only the middle class horses can sit or lie down. Royal horses never sits or lies down throughout their life. I was shocked. I don't know how much to believe. That is exactly the word he told me. And he gave that example and then said, hey, yogi should never lie down and sleep. Until the end, the flat lying down was never his lifestyle. And he will sit and stretch the leg. And the moment he closes his eyes, that smile and the joy in his face, the way he radiates, I can touch and feel God in the air he is breathing, in the space he is radiating. So I was serving him, taking care of him. I actually wiped some of the pus formed in his back, the bed sores. What is it? What is it? The essence of his life, what I can learn. I just had only this one flash. What I can learn from him at this situation? What should I learn from him at this situation? The person of this caliber, Tapasvi, after he left the body, the only property he left is only small tumbler, glass. Yeah. Brass or copper, glass. It is still with me. It's with us in our archives. That is the only property he has left. Not even a plate. That's all he had. Usually the tradition in the north is any sadhu is sick, old, who attends to him when he is old, he is the automatic legitimate successor. That's a tradition. Because I attended to him after he left the body, after the Jalasamadhi was done, the Panch, he belongs to Mahanirvani because Puri Sampradaya. So Panch gathered and said, who is the sadhu who attended to Vairagyananda? They said, this Koka was attending. Okay, whatever Vairagyananda's property, please give it to him. They took me to a room where he was resting his life. Room was completely empty. Only this one tumbler. Actually, that is the way he lived. It's not that people have stolen after he passed away, nothing. That's the way he lived. That's the only property he had. Nothing else. Amazing life. He had one small kind of his Ishtadevata, the Sharada Devi's Pada Tuli, the feet dust of Sharada Devi, in a small pack kind of a thing which he used to worship. He gave that to me when he was in the body itself. When he was about to leave the body, he gave that. That's different. I was just looking at him, what I can learn, understand Now, this line, please listen to this line carefully. I'll just narrate it. The moment I had this flow, kind of a thought current, not exactly thought current, kind of a current, he just opened his eyes and, Koka, listen, if you enjoyed only five senses related pleasures, when that five senses cannot function anymore, you will fall in depression because life will feel empty. Then, if you enjoyed only kind of a thinking, the intellectual pleasures, like scientists, mathematicians, logicians, when that logic is failing, the powerful logic is giving way, you will fall into depression. He was narrating beautifully. Listen carefully. First listen. He was telling, if you are all the time hooked on to the TV, when your eyes fail, you will fall into depression. If you are all the time hooked on to the music, if your ears fail, you will fall into the depression. If you are all the time hooked on to the tongue, when your tongues fail, you will fall into depression. If you are all the time hooked on to physical pleasures, when your body fails, you will fall into depression. If you are all the time into these intellectual debates and brain candy, when that fails, you will fall into depression. Even if you have developed only the power of repeating the name of the God, Japa, when your logic slowly fails, you will not be able to do that, you will fall into depression. If you have visualized and meditated on God, when your visualization is getting dull, you will fall into depression. You will not be able to hold anything. He was describing step by step. He said, throughout my life, I developed to rest in that pure, unclutching space and my integrity to my Guru. So even though one by one my senses have failed, my intellect is failing, my ability to remember is failing, my visualization is failing, my emotions are failing, all that is failing. But because my whole life I developed the strength of resting in my pure completion and unclutched space or pure questioning, whatever I say, that Advaita Nirvikalpa Samadhi, now I am simply resting into it. Beyond that is my integrity to my Guru, which is holding me from the bottom. So I just know I am relaxing in right space. There is no depression. There is only joy. This is what you can learn from my life as lesson. When he was describing, I can see, understand. This is the most powerful old age insurance. You can do it. Even if you practice just repetition of name, when your logic gets into, actually when the salt intake reduces or creatinine level increases in your blood, your ability to connect and remember will fail. Even the pleasure of repeating the name of the God is the pleasure comes from ability to connect and see. You have to connect that name and the God's form and His quality and all that subtly internally. Even that circuit will fail at one time in you. And even if you visualized all the time Sadashiva's form or even my own form, Guru's form, and meditated, there will be one moment where that visualization ability will collapse in you. The one and only thing you need to develop is your ability to rest in unclutched space. The perpetual completion, Sagaja Samadhi, and even that will collapse. That time, only one thing can hold you, your integrity to your Guru. He said, the only thing I developed in my life is my ability to relax in Nirvikalpa Samadhi. When that gives way, I know I'll just fall into my mother's lap because I was completely integrated to her. The joy beaming in his face, only with Arunagiri Yogeshwara, I had tears of gratitude in my eyes. The next person with whom I had tears of gratitude in my eyes, other than Arunagiri Yogeshwara, is Vairagyananda Swami. This Swami. He was so honest about, he was so integrated about what he was talking. The power of his integrity, I got entangled with that experience. Entangled with that experience. I was actually literally vibrating the space from which he was describing. That entanglement is what I feel is initiation to me. That is the way he transmitted whatever he wants to give me. A blessing, fulfillment, completion.